Hello, it's me again. Just a very quick um, update this time, simply to let you know what the latest releases are that are in the pipeline, the releases that are snagged still. I just thought you might want to know about what's happened with those, some of those pre-orders that you might be waiting for, um, and so on. Um, So, firstly, at the moment, I've got the latest Kleistvar CD album in production. I think the CDs will be here in 3 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks time. So we're looking at late November for that, which effectively means it will be a January release. As far as the distributor is concerned, or at least the main distributor, Cargo. So, so it's not really a good time to put out releases right now. Um, and I knew it would be like this. So it's all very well, I can send out pre-ordered copies and whatever in the meantime. It just means, in fact, there'll be an advantage because anybody who orders direct from me or later from Gary um, will have the advantage of maybe 2 or 3 months over the actual copies, well, at least 2 months over the copies that will be in the shops via Cargo in January, probably mid or late January. I don't know. So obviously we've got the Christmas um, hold up to factor in as well, but yeah. Anyway, that's what's happening at the moment. We've got the Kleistvar CD in the guts of a year. Fantastic title as well. Another great album from Gary as well. So that's happening. I was hoping to do the double CD compilation as well around now. I originally announced it for release around now, but there's absolutely no way I'm doing that until the new year now, simply for the same reasons. Um, I can put it into production later this month, and again, it will have a January stroke February release. Um, and this is another thing, actually. I was kind of um, thinking about this earlier when writing to somebody. The the problem with releases and release schedules is when we think about it, if you're in the hands of a distributor as well, like I am to a degree. I'm not completely in their hands. It's not like I have an M&D deal with them or anything like that. I finance my own releases with the help of those people who directly order things from me as well. But essentially, it's down to you and and myself. Um, so I don't have anything like that going on with Cargo Records. They have helped in the past, mind, but with one or two things. But generally, it's down to me, and the support that I get. But yeah, to go back to my initial point, um, it's when we think about release schedules during the year, it's quite difficult, really, because during between sort of early November and January, mid-January, distributors are not really interested in doing much. I'm not criticizing that. It's just simply because of the kind of end of the year, Christmas, New Year slump, and the same thing happens in summer as well. So from June until really early September, it's kind of useless really to put anything out. So that means what? June, July, well, late July, August, definitely, maybe 2.5 months. Then December and January, sorry, mid-November till mid-January. So we're looking at about 4.5 months of the year that are kind of null and void as far as distributors are concerned, at least main distributors anyway. And of course, yeah, I can carry on as normal, but I do kind of depend on my distribution um, deal with Cargo um, because they do a good job in getting any given release of mine into shops and places that, and other stockists that I would never be able to otherwise do. So I really need them, and I like working with them as well. So um, I've got a good friend there, and we've been working together for a long time. So I'm very happy to work with them. But yeah, from their perspective, I understand why they can't operate as well during certain months of the year. So I have to factor that in, and that's what I considered when it came to the double CD as well. There's absolutely no point in doing that right now. Everything came together for that 2 weeks ago. I think I've got all the artwork. Puppy 38 again responsible for that, so a shout out to him. Sean Organ did the mastering for it. Everything's ready. It's all ready to go, but there's absolutely no point in me putting it into production until, again, late this month, or even maybe even early January. I don't know, because this is another thing I was ruminating on earlier. The idea that when I depend on sales from Cargo Records, for example, we're looking at, let's say, stock will arrive with them. Let's use the Kleishvar CD as an example here, and since that's what I'm presently working on, they don't want copies from me until January. So, but no, sorry, they don't want to go out on it until January. So that means, of course, I can supply them in the meantime, but they won't go out on that particular title until January, mid-January, say, if I'm lucky. That means I won't see any return on those CDs until, well, February, March. I would say April at the earliest. So anytime I supply a distributor with a certain quantity of any given release, I'm looking at another few months before any return comes back. Sometimes even half a year. So and there's no guarantee that it will be a full return at that. It might only be some of the initial outlay. So Kleishvar's kind of okay. I think generally we break even there, but again, it takes a long time to recoup the costs. So there we are. So this is why I don't want to sound desperate here, but this is why I'm very often doing deals and things through the big cartel shop. It's because I really, really depend, and I'm sure all other labels, similar kind of label, similar status, they all depend on direct support. I depend on direct support. It's a really useful way of just keeping the wheels turning, and things are really difficult now. Vinyl is, I've moaned about it in every upload I've done in the last few months. I think this might be my fifth upload here. And vinyl is just a mess, and it's completely down to RSD and the pandemic. And I've got three records waiting to be released right now. I'm still waiting for test pressings on three of them. So I've got the Edward Caspel 10-inch coming out on Lumberton Trading Company. That's that's something I'm still waiting for a test pressing for. I've been waiting since that was put into production months ago, probably in March, I think, February, March, something like that. Kleishvar LP reissues, the Mobility and the Do Not albums. Mobility is the one-sided one, if I remember correctly. It's the same story. I'm still waiting for test pressings. So they're with the manufacturer. They're in the hands of the manufacturer with the order forms and everything else. The same as the Edward Caspel, and they've been there hanging in limbo for months and months now. And the latest word I had was on Thursday, and it amounted to the fact that I probably won't see test pressings for any of those three releases until next year sometime. I imagine, and I hope, during the first 2 or 3 months of next year. It's an absolute nightmare. I've got two other releases on vinyl waiting in the wings as well, the Nip Mott album and the Mummies and Madmen. I think I'm just going to give up on the Mummies and Madmen. I think will just become a CD release now. It's just, we're looking at 2023 before any more vinyl is realised. I'd like to do an LP, vinyl LP of the upcoming release that I've got by Blue Statue in London. So it's just really, really difficult knowing that you have to wait so long, over a year, up to 10 months even, or longer, even for test pressings, and then they have to be approved, and then you have another month and a half to 2 months, if you're lucky, of waiting from that approval until there's a green light on the, you've got a delivery date maybe for the actual stock copies. So it's an absolute nightmare. Because of that, I'm really CD sort of dependent still. The next few releases I'm doing all CD. I know many people have really gone off them, but I don't understand why. I think they still look pretty good. If you like physical releases, the sound on CDs is absolutely sublime, and as anybody knows, if you buy a record now, a vinyl record, then it's the same mastering process. So it's all digitally done, and I would say you might even lose something slightly in vinyl now with digital mastering, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll stand or even sit corrected if need be. But the point being is that CD sound quality is phenomenal. It's much better than WAVs and MP3s and all the rest of it that you can find online, streaming, blah blah blah. Okay, that's all okay. It's all okay. If you're just listening, on your device, on your phone, or on a laptop or whatever, all fine. But if you want really good sound coming, a nice warm sound and high, really good detail, high fidelity, and all the rest of it, then and you want to hear the bottom end as well as the high, really, really well, all the dynamics. I think the best place is to use some kind of sound system, or separate system or whatever. You need some decent players. So I think anybody who really likes music generally goes for that. So I don't understand this kind of slump with CD sales or interest in CDs at the moment. They're really good. They're, as I said, I think last time or the time before, they're absolutely wonderful for sending out. You don't have to package them up so well as vinyl. It's not such an expensive process. They're very cheap to send as well, comparatively. And they look good. I still think they look fine. I buy CDs as well. It's not like I'm only pushing the CDs that I personally produce. I buy them. I buy all kinds of stuff on CD. Vinyl's really expensive as well, and although I keep my own vinyl prices pretty low, there's some real bullshit out there. You look at some of these. I don't know how they justify it, but you look at some of these small labels, and they're trying to push a limited edition LP by, I'm not going to name any artists, but let's say by some fairly popular artist, in underground circles, and they try and sell it for over £20 or £25 plus shipping. I always keep my prices lower than as low as possible, really. I think the Sean Organ mini album that I did was £14, and that's enough. So I've still got some copies left as well, by the way. And the ATV 12-inch, which sold out, the Was It White and Sticky 12-inch. Excuse me, I sold that for £10 plus shipping. So if I was running some kind of awful hipster directed boutique label, sneer. Excuse me. Excuse the dry cough. It's from talking too much, because as anybody who knows me personally will know, I also teach English, so I'm yammering a lot in the week. No other reason. But yeah, if I was running one of those kind of labels, I'd be selling the ATV 12-inch for at least £18 or something plus shipping, or more. So well, I said at least £18, but at least £18. So so CDs are a really good, comfortable, convenient way forward for me at the moment. I still like them. I know some people still do. Plenty of people still do buy them, but because there's definitely a slump at the moment. Maybe it's because, of course, when I sound off on Facebook or wherever else, like I did even a few days ago, I understand. I'm running a label. I've got work. I've got steady income. We live in a house. I can buy a few books and records each month. My life's fairly comfortable. It's not as comfortable as I'd like it to be, but it's fairly comfortable. So, and I am kind of aware enough to understand that if I'm putting some disposable income into releases, then automatically I'm elevated to a slightly better position than many people, and I can do that, but it's only again through my working, keeping my hand in with work, that I'm able to do that. I've always done what I call real work. I've always kept my hand in with proper jobs, no trust funds, no arts grants. Absolutely hate all that stuff. I find it hypocritical when you get so many people forever, waving their fist at the government, and then they're out as soon as there's a handout from them, to support their latest endeavour or whatever, they're there. So I hate that hypocrisy. I really do. Doesn't mean to say I hate some of the people who I personally know who do that, and it doesn't mean to say I hate all the music that's produced in from that either, or even some of the events that are created from that. But I don't like it myself, and I find it pretty abhorrent. It's pretty reprehensible on every level, as far as I'm concerned. I think there are far more deserving people out there than artists. That need money. Plenty of people out there. So I feel pretty strongly about that. So artists should be right at the bottom. They shouldn't even be on the bloody even in the queue. So maybe they should be at the bottom, and you have the heap, so at the very bottom. So anyway, I'll stop sounding off about that. But I do sound off about the frustration that I have at the moment. If I sound off on Facebook or whatever, it's purely because I'm frustrated with the situation regarding trying to push CDs, and that's one of the points why I'm here this time. About a week ago, I yet again created a deal through the Big Cartel Shop, and the deal is for the next 4 CD releases that Fourth Dimension or its affiliated labels put out It's for the next 4 releases, plus you can choose any 3 from the back catalogue. So, that means you can choose the Brian Conniff with Simon Morris, Philip Petit with Eugene S. Robinson from Lumberton, JFK CD, the last one, the reissue, Hand and Leg, for example, great duo from Greece. Really, really good music. A bit post-punky, a little bit garagey, but a little arty as well. There's certainly a openness in their music I really, really like. I'm trying to find substitute words for synonyms for experimental, but there's that angle, so I call it an openness. So, but yeah, they've got that really good album. Limbs Bin, still got plenty of those hanging around. Still got a few of these. Probably only about 10 left now, so hurry if you want that, and you want to take advantage of the deal, and you want that included. That's the last Kleischwar CD, Map 71. Probably got a couple of other titles of theirs as well. Really good. I even include the double CD by the Midnight Choir from Winter Hill Recordings. Great reissue from the 80s. Kind of, again, blustery, Captain Beefheart fueled, post-punk, a little early birthday party-ish, maybe. But yeah, really, really good album, or really good collection there. So, and I've probably got some other titles as well. Well, of course I have. But when I sound off on social media, it's because, as I've said before, I very often, when I do get, my few orders every week, I'm sometimes having to rummage through boxes and boxes of CDs that I've got in storage here. And it just makes me frustrated that more people are not going for these. I think I offer a pretty good service, pretty friendly, despite being a grump generally. I am approachable. Anybody who has ordered stuff from me directly knows, or should know, and can verify the fact that I do very often write back and say, would you like another couple of CDs for an extra tenner or something? I'd rather just see all this stuff just gone, to people's homes. And again, CD format, I think, is good. It's viable. It looks nice. If you like physical formats and you're struggling with vinyl at the moment, like I am, for all kinds of different reasons, never mind the prices of certain vinyl releases and reissues and whatever, CDs are just good. I quite like cassettes as well. In fact, I've just been playing a few over the last 2 or 3 days, but finally catching up with a few things from my 2 boxes of unplayed releases here. So and writing about them as well. So, and that's another thing as well. If you've got anything to review, by all means send it for adverse effect purposes. Maybe I'll put a link in underneath this as well. Happy to receive anything, but we're not going to review downloads or streams or anything like that. Sorry, it's bullshit. Don't like it. Hate it. Hate all that stuff. I'm not wasting my time with any of that. If you want something reviewed, get your product to the post office, make an effort, get it here, and we'll get to it. It might take a few months or even longer sometimes, but we will review it. And I say we because it's not just myself doing reviews. I'm also open to having a couple more people on board as well. So, so while I'm on that subject, but I think this was meant to be a 10-minute upload. It's now gone up to almost 25. Really sorry about that. You can only feel for my poor students in lessons, can't you? So, the shit they have to put up with listening to me. Anyway, yeah. So sorry if I've gone off track a few times, and obviously I'm not very good at keeping focused. But I think I've said enough. So thanks a lot. Thanks for listening. Support the labels. As always, support anybody else. who's running a small label that who's dedicated to interesting music. Support the artists, support them directly. Any of the artists I work with, don't just think about supporting my own stuff. It's a big shout out for lots of other people here who are producing really good things, lots of interesting things. And there we are. So thanks a lot. Oh, maybe finally, very quickly, I know I keep saying I want to do an upload whereby I'm having a discussion with somebody like Alan Ryder from Adventures in Reality, but I still just I don't know how to do this. That's the bottom line. Really don't know. We've got as far as discussing Zoom and the possibilities of that, but I really don't know. I'm a complete tech tard. I really am. I absolutely hate anything technical. It's a wonder that I've even managed to figure this out, really. So there we are. But I do hope to get there at some point in the near enough future. Thanks a lot. Thanks for supporting, and thanks for listening and watching. Cheers. Bye bye.